everybody, so today I've got two brand new blushes to show you, two very different blushes actually, one from Burberry and one from Valentino. So one that's really quite shiny and one that's a total flat matte. So I'm going to try both of these on both sides of the face, and I might even layer the two together because I have a feeling those could work really nicely. If you've got something like that in your collection, you can find out with me today if that might work. Or maybe you want to pick up the both of them as well. But I've got them both in a very similar shade. I'll also do a couple of comparisons so we can see how this compares, especially the Valentino to its original, and also to something I think is a bit similar. So lots of things to look at with these two blushes, but that is absolutely it. Nothing else we're looking at today, just the two blushes. So it will be a quick one, but I can't wait to get started. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who loves makeup and beauty, and here on my channel I show you my favourite looks, the latest releases, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this content, I do upload here several times a week, and I would love it ever so much if you did subscribe. But if you're already subscribed, welcome back. Thank you for being here, I truly appreciate you. And my skin tone for looking at all of these shades today, I have fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones that do lean a little bit neutral, and I've got blue eyes. But anyway, that's enough about me, let's dive straight into this review. So if you know my channel, you know I tend to film quite long videos and I go into great depth, and I would normally probably include more products in this video. But to be totally honest with you, and you will catch me saying this in my next video, or certainly in another video where I've just filmed this eye look with something I can't actually talk about yet, but it's coming out in a few days and then I can talk about it, and it's exciting. But the reason I am making this a short video is because I'm not well at all. I've been trying to film for days and struggling, so I'm keeping my videos short so I haven't got such a long edit and I'm not sitting here filming for too long. I've mentioned recently about having a temperature and things, and basically it's been getting worse, and my son's been ill for a few weeks, and it turns out it's glandular fever, and I just can't shake it off. My son had 3 weeks of it and now I seem to be the same, so I'm not quite as ill as he was at all, but I am very tired and just my temperature spikes. I think I'm better, I have a bit of energy, and then I get really dizzy and stuff, so I need to be a bit aware of that. And we're having all of these launches coming out of my ears, as you're probably well aware of at the moment. So I'm trying to keep up with them, but I will keep videos maybe a little bit shorter until I feel stronger anyway. So today we're just going to look at these two. So let's get started straight away by looking at a swatch video first of all of the Valentino blush. So here it is. So this is the ColorCrush blush, and the shade I've got is called Stand Out Nude, and you can see it's quite shiny. You get 3.4 grams of product, and this is made in Italy, I believe. Sorry, it's made in France, not Italy. The other one is made in Italy. So this one is made in France, and you probably recognise this packaging because, in fact, if I just slide across, we do have a bit of a Valentino obsession back here. So it's the same sort of spike packaging that we get with these lipsticks, which I keep on display because I love this packaging. And it's also like their perfume cases. Well, not cases, bottles rather. This is their new one. I'm not sure this is quite launched yet, but if it has, and you can get your hands on it, this one is gorgeous. I have done a short video of this if you want more information, but I absolutely love this. And if you look at the packaging they had with the previous one, this blush was for eyes and cheeks though. It's very different. And this was a little bit divisive, this packaging. But then I think the spike packaging is as well, because some people hate the spikes. I happen to love them. I also like this packaging. I thought they were both very luxe, but they are exceptionally different. So if you don't like the red, you might prefer this. I think from the sort of feedback I've had when I put an advert out for it, people prefer this one. But let's look at the difference between the two formulas first. So I happen to love the formula as well of the Valentino face and cheek, and this one in particular is my favourite. So this one it's number 8. I can't see the actual name of it now. But this one is like a coral, so it's a different shade, and it is quite a shiny finish. So there it is. So now let's take a look at the new one. When I feel it, I'll tell you if it feels any different. It doesn't actually, it feels the same. Just trying to feels very similar. Let's take a look. So here is the new one. Possibly a bit more shiny, but then it is a different colour. What do you think? They feel very similar. They're both really creamy. But I love the look of this pink. I love the look of it. It's so pretty. So it says the benefits are: Discover ColorCrush, a versatile, silky, soft powder blush that delivers a buildable, high purity colour with a radiant finish thanks to Roma Light Complex colour enhancing pearls. Experience comfort and lightweight feel, boasting long wear up to 12 hours with no smudging. All housed in an iconic full aluminium and gold studded case. Get ready to be crushed in colour. And this was £36 if I didn't mention it. It came onto Selfridges briefly, every shade of this. In fact, I'll pop a picture up now of all the different shades you can get. I think there's only 5. I say that because I can't even access the colours. I can see the names actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 different shades. It came onto Selfridges, which often seems to happen with these releases. When they're just launching, they have a small stock on Selfridges, they sell out within a few hours, and that's what happened with this. They've gone. So at the time of putting this video out, and I think I'll be probably putting it out tomorrow, this is not available on Selfridges. So hopefully they will restock very soon. I know they will restock eventually, but it will also be on the Valentino sites, and in the US you will get it on other sites. So when you do see it pop up, if you see it before I let everyone know, please do let everyone else know in the comments. That could be really helpful. But obviously when I see this pop up anywhere, I will absolutely post it, so do look out for that. But yeah, at the moment I don't know where you can get this, but obviously it's a new launch. It will be everywhere shortly, I'm sure of that. So the only other thing I wanted to compare it to, which ones have I got out? I thought it was worth comparing it to RMS in terms of shine, because it reminds me a bit of that shimmery, shiny finish that we get from an RMS. Now the colour I've chosen to compare it with is Bermuda Rose. I don't have a colour match. It's much more of a rich pink, this one. But let's just see. So I know that RMS is known for being one of the most shiny, glowy blushes. So there's RMS, and here is the Valentino. I'd say they're very, very similar actually. Similar in finish, similar in feel, and similar in shine. So if you like RMS, I'd say the Valentino's more velvety, creamy feeling. It's actually a little bit nicer to feel. But the way they've gone on, the way they look on my hand here, they're both very, very smooth and both very, very shiny. And I'd say they're the same level of shine. If you wanted to go up a notch and you don't think these are shiny enough, I would go with the Rare Beauty blushes or the suede ones from Fenty, which are definitely a lot more glowy than these. And I don't have a shade match for those either, but I thought I won't do a comparison because I know for a fact they are not the same. I do have the Dior Backstage, the newest formula, and this one is Rosy Glow, so I thought I'd just quickly compare this because this one has obviously a nice shine too. Completely, it's going to have a lot less in the way of pigment though, and it's nowhere near as creamy. It's just much more of a powder finish. So this is the Dior New Valentino RMS. So definitely the most glowy are these two. I use my Dior one often to add a pop of glow on top of blushes when I feel like I need a bit of glow, so it certainly gives that. But this one from Valentino is going to give a little bit more, and personally I think it will still work very well on the eyes. Obviously I can't show you that today, I've just tried an eye look, but I think it would look really good on the eyes. But I also think it could be a very nice blush topper, so if you are doing something like a flat matte, which we will be doing today, then that could be a really nice topper, and I will actually try that in this video. So now before I try that on, let's move to the Burberry blush. So here is my swatch video of the Burberry blush. So this one is £40, again completely different. I've gone for the lightest shade. It's not the same shade of pink, so they will be looking a bit different. So this one is Pink Heather, number 20. I'll pop a picture up now of all the shades you can get. And this is still in stock at the time of filming. There's Pink Heather, Rose Meadow and Peach Tree. Actually, all of them are still in stock, apart from Sand Beige at the time of filming. But it does say with Earthy Rose there's 5 left, and that Russet Leaves, the deeper shade, is low in stock at time of filming again. And I'm saying that because this is Selfridges, again, low stock levels. They will probably disappear and then come back in. But I would imagine the Burberry site and other websites will all be stocking these soon. And I know this was available in Nordstrom. I've got it linked below for you if you're in the US and you want to get this, and I believe they've still got stock too. So hopefully at the time of watching you can get pretty much all of these shades if you wanted to. So this one is obviously coming with a brush. I prefer the fact that with the Valentino it's all blush and no brush. I never use these brushes, but if you do, this is quite a nice one. I'll just take the wrapper off to show you. It does look very classy. We've got the Burberry logo there on the handle. It's a good size brush. It's not bad at all. And obviously we've got a nice mirror, very classy packaging. I love the sort of edges, the detail on it. Very, very nice. And the clasp there, very, very good, very elegant. They both are, but Valentino gets my vote. So I think that's like, I just love this bike. It was always going to be my favourite. And obviously we've got a very solid mirror with the Valentino as well, and we don't have a brush taking up space, which is a plus in my opinion. Although the old Valentino did have a brush, which I never used, but I thought was absolutely adorable, if you ever saw that. It goes there. You can see I've still got the plastic cover on mine, even though I just dropped it. That was the old one, and it just slotted in there. I just thought that was the most adorable idea, but I never ever used it. But I did think it was genius. It was tucked out the way and it wasn't taking up space. So some information on the Burberry. As I think I said earlier, it's made in Italy, I believe. Let me check with my magnifying glass. Look, this great big magnifying glass. Oh, can I see what it says? Made in Italy. You've got 24 months shelf life with this, and you get 9 grams of product. The Valentino is also 24 months shelf life, by the way. I didn't say that, did I? I haven't got much in the way of comparisons, apart from I pulled out my Gucci blush in the shade, magnifying glass again, True Pink. So I'll just compare these two. That was the only one I really thought, it's not a match at all. But again, I'm going to compare formula a bit here. Very different shades. It's more of a sort of sandy pink, I think I'd describe it as. Salmony pink, maybe? Not sandy, salmon. I don't know. Totally different actually. And the Gucci does have more of a glow. It's thicker than the Gucci. If you're familiar with the Gucci, it's more of a fine powder. The Burberry feels like a really quite thick powder, so I think you could have too much if you swirled around. Anyway, here is the Burberry and here is the Gucci. I think they're both going to have quite similar properties in terms of blurring and looking very sort of perfecting. I love the Gucci formula, so it reminded me a bit of that, but again, it's not the same, that's for sure. I don't actually think I've got a blush shade quite like this one, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like, because I've gone for the lightest pink, but it's not a cool pink, which is what normally suits me, but I can get away with warms. It is quite a warm pink, so I will start by trying this one. I'm going to use the same brush for both. I'll just clean off on my microfiber cloth. So I'm using the Rapper Holiday brush, which I always use for blushes. Oops, see, that's why the blushes are a pain in the neck. So I've taken quite a lot there. I'm going to really tap off because, like I said, this is very powdery. I didn't read you any of the details before I put it on, did I? Swirl the built-in brush. Oh, no, thank you, I don't need those instructions. The benefits. Each shade is infused with skin-enhancing pigments to deliver the perfect natural flush of colour on a variety of skin tones to create the effect of a walk outside in nature. Okay. Weather protection. Water, humidity, sweat and heat resistant to protect the makeup, infused with Rosa Damascena, I've never heard of that, renowned for its antioxidant properties, and vitamin E, which protects the skin against external environmental factors. So this should last in all these dreadful storms we're having right now at the moment. Got flood warnings everywhere in Wales. It's been horrific. So, as I expected really with this shade, I can be quite generous. I'll zoom you in a bit there. This is going on very, very smoothly, and it's definitely a blurring blush. Talk about easy to apply. You can't see the sort of where it starts and where it finishes. It's just sort of blended in perfectly. It is going on top of powder, so I'm not actually testing it on top of foundation. It is going on top of powder, which is what I would always do, to be honest, when I'm applying a powder blush. I do prefer to put it on top of a powder. And it is a very smooth powder it's going on top of. It's the brand new one from Fenty, the loose powder, which I absolutely adore at the moment. Oh, that's so easy. You could do this without looking. It is very warm, this pink, though. I'm not sure how I feel about the colour. I don't hate it, but it's not really going very well with the green look I've got today. I think the other colour would be better for me today. But if you find a shade that works for you, I think that this is a beautiful formula if you like mattes. Now obviously, for me, I have no problem using a matte, because if you want to bring a bit of life to it, that's what highlighters do for me. So I love the perfecting finish of a matte, and I'm more than pleased that we're starting to get mattes coming back, because we haven't had a lot of good mattes, but suddenly they're on the rise again, which is great. But I do love a glowy blush. That's probably my favourite. So I am excited to try the Valentinos. This is going to be very different and much better, I think, with my eye look today. So I've just wiped off the Refa brush, and let's see, I think I can be quite, I'm saying I can be quite generous. I'm just remembering how pigmented this was. Let's see, just tap it on. Oh, this is looking lovely. Again, it's gone on. Do you know what though? I'm thinking this Fenty powder is quite incredible, because everything I put on top of it, it's like it's already blended. Such a good powder. I've got it linked below if you want to look into it, because it's so affordable and so good. I've used it every day since I reviewed it. You can find a review for it on my channel very recently, and I love it. Every time I put any powders on top of it, everything just goes on so smoothly. It's a beautiful powder. So I'm going to credit Fenty as much as Valentino here, and as much as Burberry, but how they'd perform on top of a foundation or something, I don't know. They're performing very, very, very nicely. So you can see I'm getting the glow, but it's not an over the top glow. It's not like a highlighter, but it's a glow that means you don't need a highlighter, which I do like. Obviously with this side you do really need a bit of highlighter if you want it to be a little bit less flat and you want to lift it and make it a bit more dimensional. That is really, really nice. This is definitely, it's not just because I prefer the shine here, it's the colour. This one's just quite warm and I don't like that colour on me much, and it definitely is a clash with the green, isn't it? But anyway, if I'm wearing warmer tones, certainly something like the Byredo brown palette for instance that we had, that would be really nice with this shade. But both formulas have gone on like an absolute dream. So now what I really want to find out is, can I use this as a topper? Now I'm putting it on top of the Burberry. Whether these two colours can even work together, I doubt it. I wouldn't choose to put them together. I would probably go with something like a mauve base and then top with this. But it's doing exactly what I thought it would, which is topping it nicely. So I wouldn't call it a blush topper. It is a glowy blush, but it has that. I often use two blushes together. I love to mix colours. I love to mix formulas as well. So I could, for instance, put something like the Dior matte cream down and then top with this. That would be a lovely combination. When I use the new Dior matte cream or the Too Faced cream, I usually top with this one from Dior. I keep it in my top drawer for exactly that reason, to have a glowy powder top. This blush will do that as well, if you like mixing creams, liquids, powders, which I love to do. But certainly that's gone on nicely, and it's changed the blush completely, hasn't it? Let me just take a little bit across the nose as well, brighten me up a bit. I feel very pale, but keep in mind I did have a fair bit of makeup on before I started filming this. I'm quite grey at the moment. There we go. Feels very strange to say I finished, but I have finished. That's all I've got to show you. I'm over the moon with the Valentino. The Burberry, I think if I had a different shade, I would be a little bit more thrilled with it. I don't see me reaching for it much because of the shade. The finish, it's good. It's just not wowing me. It's just a good matte. That's all I can say. I'm not going to say it's amazing. I think the packaging is good. I think it blended very nicely. It is blurring. If you like a matte finish, I think this is a very good one. It's just not, I don't know. I'm just not wowed, but I do think the shade is playing a massive role in that. So I don't know if I'd actually want to spend more and buy another one. One thing I haven't mentioned actually, which I really should have by now, and I do apologise to Rebecca, is my partner, my Atlantic partner, Rebecca, has got the Earthy Rose shade in the Burberry blush. So if you want to see a different shade, Rebecca has got that. I don't know if she's shown it yet, and if she hasn't, she will be showing it soon. So I've got a feeling she hasn't, because I haven't got the link, but I will add the link for her video showing that shade to my video description whenever she does it. So in the meantime, do look out for that. So Rebecca on Not Fit for Print Beauty here on YouTube will be showing you Earthy Rose if you want to see a different shade. So I think this shade would have suited her skin tone. It just would have been a bit pale. It would have suited her better because she's got a warmer skin tone. But it's not a disaster on me. You can still see it hasn't gone with me putting the topper, but I do think it looks a bit better now. But this is definitely my favourite side. What do you think of the two? I'm very happy, especially with Valentino anyway. So that is all from me for today, a super quick video, and hopefully I won't be making too many short videos like this. I will try to put a bit more work into more videos throughout the week, but I will have to see how I get on, to be honest with you, because I have to put my health first, and I'm just literally not capable of doing an awful lot at the moment. So I do hope you still enjoyed this, and if you have, please do hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, I would love if you did subscribe. I'm not always this whingy, I promise. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for being here at the end of another video. I really do appreciate you for being here. And I hope to see you all again for my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.